comes from Unpopular Celebrity Podcast is all unofficial. None of the conversations or comments from us or guests represent DOD or the armed forces.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Anything that comes from Unpopular Celebrity Podcast is all unofficial. None of the conversations or comments from us or guests represent DOD or the armed forces.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
What have we got here? What have we got here? What have we got here? Yeah. Yeah, so far so good. It's good. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Mm. Our streak continues. Mm, mm, mm. I don't know. You know what? It might be my wife downstairs watching TV. Yeah. I think she's watching TD Jakes. you know, he don't really preach as much as he used to because he's kind of sickly. So now his kids do it. So you know how it is. They a lot of screaming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is, that is embarrassing. Why don't you just put it down to the side? Yeah, take it down. Mm. Hey, pup. He just opened the door. Okay. All right, pup. He's like, open this dang door. Thanks, Bruiser. Can't see it, but thanks, Bruiser, wherever you are. You ain't got to understand. Peace, human beings. Welcome to another edition of your Unpopular Celebrities TV show, podcast, wherever you want to call it. We here in the building. We are here in the building. Now, I had to switch my setup around, so my stuff is like in different places. So I'm getting used to all that stuff. So bear with me here. So again, thank you for joining. Look at the screen above me. Like, share, subscribe. Unpopular Celebrities on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Catch us out on Apple Podcasts. You can catch our old shows on YouTube as well. So we are on the road to 300 subscribers. We need to get there even better. So support your boys and then do that as well. So peace, human beings. Peace, human beings. You could be anywhere, but you're here. So thank you. Man, it's been a while. Uh Dang, I forgot, man. It's been a while. I'm gonna look it up. Full transparency, I'm gonna look it up. Breviet. 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 Da. Da. Breviet. Mm. What are you talking about? What I got to do with what we talking about? Are you talking to me or are you talking to somebody else? Oh, confused. Confused. You gonna roll into your topics?
All right, Rob. What about now? How come you can only hear me? You couldn't hear me. But everybody else can hear me. Look at Rob Roller in the building coming with can only hear Philly. That got to be a shame. That got to hurt. Waiting for Rob Roller to get back at me. Make sure you can hear me. Do do do. Waiting as I do 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 do. There you go. All right, we're straight. Appreciate it. That's my fault. All right, Philly gonna take off. I don't know where he going, but I'll go ahead and start the stream off. Got a lot to talk about. Got to talk about run, Airman, run. So if you didn't know, there is a new standard that the Air Force will have to abide by when it comes to PT tests. That standard looks like a now 2 mile run instead of 1.5. No more hammer test, if you guys are familiar with that. And also regular push-ups, regular sit-ups. Now you're of adequate volume and free from distortion. Okay, thank you. Anyway, so that's new standard. And to add, and to add, there's also no help for getting 90s. If you get a 99, 100, or 75, you're doing it every 6 months. Philly, what's your thoughts on these changes?
I'm torn, to be honest. Part of me feels like it's a good thing. I mean, let's be honest. How many people were taking PT tests and they would go out and they would score 90, 95%, and then afterwards go out and eat like 5 or 6 donuts the next day and not work out again for another 4 or 5 months until their test comes up, especially if you got a 90 or an above and you don't have to test for another year. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some people out there who normally engage in physical activity, but let's be honest, how many is it compared to those who are not? My only issue is, maybe it's me, but I don't think there was a clear understanding as to the why we're doing it. And do they need to say it? Not really, but it would be helpful. And then these additional tests that they came up with, these alternate tests like the hammer run, the plank, and oh yeah, the hand release push-ups. Rest in peace to those, man. They didn't last very long.
Nope, not at all.
Your boy used the hammer run once. It wasn't that bad. It was harder than the half a mile and a half run. I'll tell you that. But rest in peace to those.
So interesting. I'm reading in on airforce.mil or af.mil. It starts 1 January, goes to from March to August of 2026. All fitness tests will be diagnostic to provide airmen time to adapt to new changes. Beginning 1 September 2026, Air Force will resume official scoring tests under the new PFA. Rob Roller says, "Do surprise, not no notice test, maybe." Jimmer Alvin, excuse me, he says, "These fitness changes are about having a healthy, ready force to meet today's mission and demands of future fights." So there's your reason why.
Uh,
This is where I
I,
get torn up.
I don't know. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. And I did a basic search on the internet, and It was three different reasoning behind the changes that I found. One addressing pandemic era policies. Says the updates. This is courtesy of. Oh, this is AI. It's interesting.
Oh.
The updates are response to concerns that recent PT policies, particularly those established during the COVID-19 pandemic, did not adequately prepare airmen for the current and future operational environment. Then the other was promoting long term health and aligning with military wide standards. So I'm curious, this 2 mile run in particular, is this because they're trying to align with the same standards for every service? I'm curious.
Uh, I guess
That
so.
might be
I did.
rhetorical. I don't
Yeah.
think we should. I don't think we
Hey, I
do
was
that.
wrong. I was wrong. Alternate components are still authorized. Hammer these push-ups, planks, and reverse crunches. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Where does that
This-
say that at?
That was in Air Force Mil. This came out 24 September 2025.
Hmm.
So I was wrong. So I apologize for that. But they did
Hmm.
say the waist measurements coming back.
Yep. Not surprised about that one. The only thing about that is they're going to be, unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of people get caught up in this new change because I think if they're going to start it in January, I don't think that's enough time to prepare folks. And I would argue you're going to probably have more injuries too,
Right.
more folks in physical therapy, more folks with profiles. And so then the question is, what do you do with those folks who are on profiles? So it'll be interesting. Do I think physical fitness is always a good thing? And I agree. Being in the profession that we're in, you have to be physically ready
Right.
to be able to do the stuff our country will call us to do. However, we have to do it smartly. And I am not a physical fitness guru, but it's going to take quite some time for folks in the Air Force to acclimate. Not the Army, because the Army's been doing 2 mile runs, Marines, obviously, but the Air Force, a mile and a half. Robert Roller, let's see, says, why did they implement all the alternative options? I retired in 13, run, push ups, sit ups, weights back then. You want to answer that?
Um, I don't really remember why. I think they just said that people are different. This came out during the Joe Bass era, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was Joe Bass, right? And I think
Mm-hmm.
she kind of said that people are different. Some people are sprinters, some people are long distance runners, and then wanted to give alternatives to why we do things or how we do things. But that's all I really remember it. The waist measurement, I still don't understand that.
Well, yeah, they want you to look good in uniform. They don't want you to have a big old gut. And they also say is the larger your waistline, the more chances you'll be susceptible to health complications.
Yeah, I think the only thing there's nothing in there for people who are just genetically big. And I don't mean to say like certain races or
Big
anything, but
bone.
like Samoans are just big people.
Mm.
They're just shaped differently, which should be acceptable. Certain Hispanics are shaped differently, bigger hips and stuff like that. Some African Americans, bigger hips, stuff like that. Um, I don't know how you take in consideration those people and still get the same effect. I don't know if you can.
No, that's why you make it standardized. But I mean,
But
I hear
my
what you're
only thing
saying.
is like
Yeah.
Marines never had a problem with theirs. I'm sure they haven't changed their PT test in eons. Army, I don't remember changing their PT test. They got two different ones. And then you got your Navy. I think they're kind of similar to us, but not 100% sure. Uh they never had a problem or changers. And I think this is where we always get into problems. We're always changing stuff. We can't it's hard to understand a standard when the standard always changes and then call it a standard.
Mm.
Like if it's going to be a standard, keep it a standard. If it's not, it's not.
Yeah, I just did a quick Google search. So Navy has changed their physical fitness tests. Recently, they actually changed it. Say they said they replaced the curl up with the forearm plank and a 1.5 mile run with an optional cardio event like a 2,000-meter row,
Mm.
which is interesting because that brings up the question of I think the PT test was structured based on the type of service you was in and what you would be doing.
Mhm.
So you would argue the Marines, yes, their test needs to be very physical fitness structured, you know, a lot of strength, a lot of running for the type of job they're going to do. No different than the Army. But in the Air Force, I would argue outside of your spec op folks, maybe your defenders, your EOD folks, the majority of the Air Force won't be doing that type of stuff. Now, I know there's a transition now to a new type of thinking, or not new, but thinking of everyone would have to do that type of work in our austere environment. But it's going to take quite a while to do that change. And quickly back to your point about always changing. I think when Joe Bass in her era, and it's not a dig on her, I think they were going down the right road as far as offering different options. But I think there were folks that were using those other options in order to make the test easier, not because you have some people who are to your example sprinters or runners. I think in the end it should come down to can you do the type of things that will be required of you in a contested environment? Can you drag your airman or your marine or your soldier, your guardian or coastie 200 meters or 100 meters with full gear on? Just
Well,
because you can run a mile and a half or
right.
2 miles in a good time doesn't mean you can do that.
Yeah, appreciate your point. Remember when the security forces tried to do this
Yeah, that didn't
and
last long, did it?
it failed miserably? And to your point, if we're both security forces, it would be up to me to drag you out of harm's way. Number one, I'm never by myself. I should never be. We should never be anywhere by ourselves. Number two is uh I couldn't drag you 200 meters with full kit on. Both of us having full kit, I could not drag you 200 meters. No way.
I think maybe not at a good pace, but I think if
You're like,
you know
huh,
what I mean? Adrenaline
huh.
is a mother, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
you'll find some way. It may not look pretty.
Yeah,
You may drop a couple of things on the way, but I think you could do it. But then there's some people like they can't do it at all because they have
yeah.
no upper body strength, no endurance. And those are the people we need to look at. And let me roll back real quick. Let me just say this real quick. I was always a person who believed instead of it being a test, it should be a standard and it should be things put into place to ensure people have the a fair chance to meet the standard. Meaning, you know how you have a test in school or an evaluation and they give you time to study and they show you what you need to know to reach or reach the standard.
Mhm.
I personally don't think, I'll just speak for the Air Force, that we don't have that. If you have a person who regularly does not work out, you can say, well, we've given them gyms. But
That's
because
true.
you give them a gym doesn't mean they know how to work out.
That's true.
If they're a fan of just running, they may just enjoy running but hate weightlifting. They might be a fan of weightlifting but hate doing their legs. I think I read somewhere that said that they took out the ability for folks to work out during the duty day. I think that's bad. Not everyone will have an opportunity to work out during the duty day, but I do think leaders should make it a point within mission constraints to give folks that opportunity to work out during the day, even if it's squadron PT where they can be monitored. I
Mhm.
think that's the key.
Yeah, the I can't remember if it got taken out or not, but I remember that was a big thing when it first came on that people could work out during lunch or get an hour a day. And usually people take off at 3 o'clock and just go work out. That's kind of what happened. And they would call it
Mm-hmm.
the duty day. Interesting thing about the Marines, they have a max time, they don't have a minimum time. So, like their mile and a half run for their regular test, they have to run it for males in 13:30. Females get an extra minute and a half. But that's just your time. It don't matter if you're 14:49 for a girl or 4:49. You just have to do it under 15 minutes. So I find that pretty interesting. I think that could be something to be looked at. Especially since you have to do it every 6 months now. Who cares about your score?
Yeah, like what does a score? What I think it should be either you pass or fail. That's it.
All right. You
Pass
remember
or
in the
fail.
EPBs or EPRs, they had your score, like you had a block where you
Mm-hmm.
tested it, and then the block went away and just said pass or fail. And now
Mm-hmm.
there's no block at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think to your point, you're right. Like there should be no point of a test anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or excuse me, a score anymore.
Right. Because
Just get
now
rid of
what
it.
so I would agree, like when they had the score, the incentive was if you got an excellent, you didn't have to test for a year,
Hmm.
right? So now that that's being pushed to the side and everybody will test twice a year, what's the incentive? Why even get a score?
Right. Just
You
pass
know,
or fail.
like if you get a 95, are they going to say they're going to put on your EPB, scored 95% on the last PT tests? You know, like
Right.
so there's no incentive. So if I was a guy who would normally get excellence, what's the point in getting it now? I'm going to test again in 6 months.
Right.
So it should be just pass or fail
Right.
based on your age and group that you're in. And so quickly, I found the article. It was in this a website called Task and Purpose. I guess they did a interview, or there was an interview with Undersecretary Air Force Matthew Lohmeyer. Said something about he's going to leave it up to the commanders to decide whether or not to mandate PT on duty. So in that case, I agree with him because there were quite a few troops. They'll be like, "No, you gotta let me go." According to the AFI, I'm mandated an hour a day for PT. You say, "Look, we got this task going on." No, the AFI says this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now you leave it up to the commanders. I
Mm.
agree.
Yeah. I think there's still people that take off at 3 o'clock and then just say they're on PT
Mm-hmm.
time. And
Yep.
that's another thing. Is like, are
Yep.
they doing PT or are they just
Yep.
on PT time and going home?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
people say, I don't want to work out on base. I got an off base membership. I'd rather go
Yep.
work out off base. So it's just so many different things, man. It's just, I don't know. I think like if you're going to take your hour PT during your duty day, it needs to be on base because you're not off. And if I need to call you back to work, you need to be readily available to come back.
Mhm.
I don't need you 30 minutes away, be like, I'm on my PT time, and then I'm just gonna go home afterwards. Like, nah, that's not how this
Mhm.
worked, dog. That's not how this worked. But I
Yeah.
think if you don't make that evident, then it just happens. But good to know it's a whole year away and it's diagnostic. But the interesting thing, like when you fail a diagnostic, uh, now you only have 15 days to make it up. Or if I fail a diagnostic in April, I got all the way to September to make it up. But I guarantee
So
commanders go ahead.
no, I was gonna try to make sure I understand. When you say diagnostic, you mean like a practice test or
Yeah,
the
that's all it
actual
is.
test?
No, it's the actual test, but it doesn't count. So if
So
you
they said if you
fail,
failed that,
it don't
you have
matter.
to test again in 15 days?
No, that's the diagnostic test now.
Okay, I guess I keep getting hung up on the diagnostic part. What do
The
you mean
diagnostic
like
so the diagnostic is saying that this does not count if you fail, but if you pass it, you
mhm,
can use it.
right.
But if you fail it now for my old squadron, it might just be my old squadron thing. It might not be an Air Force tolerant thing that you only have 15 days to retake it. That might just be my old squadron thing.
Oh, I'm about to say then what's the point in taking the diagnostic then?
Yeah, because if you fail, it doesn't count as far as
But
a failure.
but if it's what you're saying is true, if you fail a diagnostic, what is a practice test, the the lure of it or the benefit of it is if you fail, you good. Like it doesn't count against you.
Right.
But from what you're saying, if you fail it, you have to take a test in
I
15
think so. I
days.
could be wrong. Now that you're saying that, I could be wrong about what I said. Now that you're
Yeah,
explaining it,
I'm
I could
about
be
to
wrong
say
about
y'all
that.
can have that. I
Yeah,
might as
yeah, I
well
could
wait
be
till my
wrong about that.
test.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people just do diagnostic and call it practice, but you can do practice whenever you want.
Yeah, I did that. I took advantage of that one time. And I tell you, it was great because I went into that test thinking, hey, if I screw the pooch, no big deal, no harm, no foul. Move on. As long as you do it within 30 days of your test. But um, if they decide to take that way, that would be bad. Dell Brown in the building. Dell says you get 3 a year. You get 3 a year. You have to take it before the 15th to be considered a diagnostic.
Oh, before the
If you
15th. Okay.
fail, you have to retest by the end of the month.
Okay, so I was pretty
Dale, help
close.
me out. Is that new? Because I don't recall it being this way maybe a year or two ago. Is that a new thing or?
So I
Because
was
I
pretty
was
close.
always taught like if it's a diagnostic and you fail, you can take another one within, I forgot how many days, but you can't do it within your testing month. If you fail within your testing month, that's different.
Charles Davis in the building, of course. Talking of course. Of course. Of course. Go Falcons. We'll
I'm
talk
actually a
about the
little. I will
Commanders
actually
later.
root. I will actually root. Atlanta's playing Washington today, aren't they?
Yep. Yep.
I'm actually gonna root for Atlanta.
Yeah. Good. Good.
I'm
As
rooting
you
for
would say,
Atlanta
we don't
next
need
week.
you, but we'll take any fans we can
No,
get right
y'all
now.
need as much
Yeah,
help
we'll
as y'all
take.
can
Yeah,
get.
that's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. We'll take any fans we can get. But
That's right.
yeah, so we'll see what's up with these standards and how it goes and how long it will last. I think that's the most interesting part. How long is it going to last? Moving on, switching subjects. If y'all didn't know, and good thing Charles Davis is on here, the WNBA playoffs is in full swing right now. You have the Aces playing the Fever and the Lynx, Minnesota Lynx, playing the Phoenix Mercury. Uh, the Aces are up 2-1 and the Phoenix Mercury are up 2-1. If you didn't know, Minnesota Lynx is the number one team in the whole WNBA and have been the number one team since pretty much the beginning of the season, maybe the first 5 games. Uh, they've been the number one team and held it down the whole time and now facing elimination in a game tonight. The Aces can eliminate the Fever because they only play best out of 5 in the second round. So they can eliminate the Fever today at 12 o'clock in about 3 hours, 2 hours. That game will tip off. But there's some drama going on in the WNBA. There was a game 2 nights ago. The aforementioned, yes, Charles Davis are the rounds 5, best out of 5, until the finals, and then it's best out of 7. But game 3, where Phoenix Mercury beat Minnesota, Nafisa, am I saying that right? Collier?
Nafisa.
There we go. Collier was hurt in that game. So with about, I'm reading this, trying to read this from Yahoo Sports, not Wikipedia. With about 30 seconds left, down by 2. They get inbounds the ball to Nafisa Collier, and she gets it stolen by AT Alyssa Thomas, who goes down and makes a layup. Well, during the steal, I don't know how to describe it. She fell and she got her leg caught up on AT's leg and looked like she injured her ankle pretty bad. Bad enough she's not going to play in game 4. If you don't know who Nafisa Collier is,
There's something wrong with you.
okay.
That's Bay. That's
Number
Bay.
2 number 2 for the WNBA behind, or excuse me, for the MVP race behind the winner, Asia Wilson. She's the leading scorer on the Minnesota Lynx, who is, like I said, the number 1 team in WNBA for pretty much the whole year. Should have been the MVP, but got injured and had to sit out
Mm-hmm.
a good number of games. I think it was like 5 or 6 games,
Thanks for
but had to
mentioning
sit
that.
out.
Thank you.
But during the fiasco, the coach of the Lynx, Reeves, I think her first name is Cheryl Reeves, lost her ever loving mind and just went off. She had to be held back by 3 people and just went bananas. She got kicked out of the game. She got 2 texts, got kicked out of the game, and now was suspended for game 4. So now game 4, you have her suspended, the coach, Nafisa hurt and won't play for game 4, and they're an elimination game. I want to read what she says, but I'll hear your thoughts about the recap of that game. Hear the
Oh, you want to hear it now?
Yeah, hear your thoughts.
Oh, my bad. Full transparency, I'm a big fan of Nafisa Collier.
We know.
Or I will usually refer to her as MVP. But I unfortunately missed that game. When you told me about it and I watched it last night, my first reaction was anger for the steal that Alyssa Thomas did on Collier, partly because I'm a Lynx fan. But when I watched it again in slow motion, honestly, I don't think that was a foul.
Wow.
Much as to my surprise, because when she swiped the ball came free and they collided. Once they collided, AT's body took out Collier's leg, which caused her leg or her ankle to bend a certain way.
Right.
And then she got injured. I think it was a good no call. And I think I can understand the frustration or anger from the coach, but it was unwarranted. Like, she put her team even more in a bad spot. Not only did she get ejected, her assistant coach got ejected. So they're not going to have the coach, the assistant coach, no Collier. They already lost Carrington games ago. So they're in a difficult spot. The only thing they got going for them now is, a little bit of frustration and anger for what happened. And they're in Minnesota.
I'm sorry, they're not in Minnesota. They're in Phoenix.
They're not.
No.
I thought Minnesota had like the home field court.
No, they do, but they only get game 5. So they got to win. They played 2 in Minnesota. Now they're 2 in Phoenix, and then if they make it to the last game, then they play in Minnesota.
Oh, so it's like,
it's not like the NBA.
Oh, shoot. That's not good.
Yep.
That's
So
not good.
I'm watching the highlight again. And Dale Brown says gotta watch the highlights. All you gotta watch is the last probably 15 seconds or so. So I'm going back. They were down by 4. They were down by 4 with 20 seconds left. So the game was pretty much over. And I think that's part of the frustration as well. Down by 4 with 20 seconds left. I mean, you have a chance, but it's going to take a lot to come back. You're going to have to hit a 3 or a quick 2 foul. Hopefully they miss 2. So I'm looking at the foul or the non-call. It's so bang, bang, as they say in the NFL, bang, bang play. Like, I could see them calling it, but I could see them not calling it. But for the Cheryl to act like that, like you said, just hurt our whole team. I want to go to her comments. She said in the press conference, and so this is what our league wants. Okay, but I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level, Reeves said. When it comes to officiating, it's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 playoff people semifinals playoff worthy is malpractice. End quote. Now, the interesting part about this, Caitlin Clark has been talking about the refs, and she got fined. I think it was $250 for talking about the refs and saying after the Fever won
$203.
game 1 that the refs couldn't stop us from winning no matter what they tried. And she got fined. So it's interesting now you got another person talking about leadership and the referees in the WNBA. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to speak on that one because this is the first I've heard of the perception that the WNBA wants the league to be more physical. I would imagine during the playoffs, I would think fans would expect players to be able to play harder, and the referees are less likely to blow the whistle, during the playoffs because it's a little bit more contested. And let's be honest, it sells tickets,
Mm-hmm.
it makes people interested. And I would think if it was on the opposite side and Alyssa Thomas got injured, I think the Lynx wouldn't think nothing of it.
Nope.
And again, I'm a Lynx fan. I love Nafisa Collier and the Lynx. They're awesome. But I think part of it was a little bit of frustration that they lost that game. And, like I said, I don't know. I haven't seen the games I've seen. I don't think they were that. Well, no, I take it back. Obviously, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, their interactions were rough. And also Brittany Griner a couple of times. But other than that, I didn't see all that stuff that she was talking about.
Yeah. So what Reeves was talking about, she said one of the best players in the league, talking about Nafisa, uh shot 0 free throws, 0. And she
Mm-hmm.
had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. Got her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out and probably has a fracture. So that's what she's upset about.
Mm. So when she says that, is the issue the injury or the fact they didn't get any calls?
I think it all came to a head when the player
Mm-hmm.
got injured. I think if she didn't get hurt, she would have still said it's crazy how she got 0 free throws, but she has 5 fouls. Like that don't make a lot of sense, which one has nothing to do with the other, but in her mind it does. But I think because the injury, she can't play, critical game, already lost 2 games in a row, or already lost the second game. Like it's a lot going on. Yeah, 2 games in a row. Actually lost 2 games in a row. So probably just a lot
Yeah.
of frustration.
Mm-hmm.
But the NBA playoffs, and she's right, the league does suck. The league leadership does suck and needs to change. And the reason why I say that, you have 2 elimination games on football Sunday. What are you doing? I will continue to say, do it Tuesday. Do it Wednesday. Do a freaking back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday. Give them a break. Let them have a break till Tuesday. Do it Monday at 3 o'clock. But you ain't got Monday Night Football. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays are your basketball days. During the summer or the fall, football is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and even Thursday. Stay away from those days. Stay away. Like how they do on Squid Games. Stay away. Hey, can we play a
All
WNBA
right.
game on Saturday? That's all I want to see. Can we play one on Sunday? Monday? Tuesday? Good to go. All right, I'm done. Let's get to NFL for the game start.
All right. How about we go Washington, Atlanta? 12 o'clock
ATL,
tonight.
shorty.
Okay. I am rooting for Atlanta, but I don't think Atlanta's going to win. So I'm
Even with
thinking Washington's
no
going to win.
McLaurin and no whatchamacallit, Daniels.
Oh, Scary Terry's not playing.
Yep.
I still take Washington, Atlanta, man. Y'all are cursed, bro. Y'all
You're so
cursed.
disrespectful.
Y'all find some way to mess this up. New Orleans and Buffalo.
Oh, come on, bro.
Okay, next. Buffalo. Cleveland and Detroit.
Detroit. Even though everybody likes Cleveland because of what
Mhm.
they did to the Packers,
Yeah,
Detroit's going to show you that was a fluke.
I agree. Detroit, I agree. Carolina and New England.
It's a tough one.
That's a toss-up right there.
I think New England. They did good last game. They did actually really good last game. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think
ESPN Analytics got New England over Carolina by 56%.
New England.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think New England. Chargers versus the Giants. Jackson Dart makes his first start in the NFL game.
I don't trust the Giants. It's not that they're not a good team. I just don't trust them.
Yeah, nah, it's more than that. It's the Chargers, man. Like they're better coach. They got better players. Although I'm excited to see Jackson Dart. So real quick, Jackson Dart, what is your take? You think he's gonna throw a pick or you think he's gonna show out?
Oh, he's gonna throw a pick.
Oh,
Or he's
dang.
just gonna get a sack fumble.
Oh, dang. Better than Russell Wilson, though?
Better than Russell Wilson. Ooh, that's tough. It's tough to say. Because Russell Wilson's a good bring your team back from demise. I'd rather have Russell Wilson. But we'll see. It's only game one. I'll have to see game one.
Okay. And then arguably the biggest matchup of the morning, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay.
Tampa's at home. Give me Tampa.
Yep. You know, somehow I knew he was going to say that. That's fine. Every time you doubt us, we win. Birds over Tampa Bay by 3.
Okay.
And then Tennessee, Houston.
Man, I want to trust in Houston, but they've been looking so bad. So
Mhm.
bad. And Tennessee hasn't been looking that bad. Tennessee. Oh, you know what? I'm betting actually while we're doing this. Tennessee to win. I know you don't really understand this, but some of our viewers will. Tennessee plus 7.5. So I'll take the 7.5 point and bet with Tennessee. Houston. No, I can't do that because Houston's playing at home. I'll say Houston. I'll say Houston just because they're playing at home.
Indianapolis and LA. That's a big game.
Indianapolis, LA, that's a hard one too. The Rams, not the Chargers, the Rams.
Mhm.
Man, Indianapolis has been looking good, but I think this is where they ended. The Rams could have won last week, and failed.
But they didn't.
Yep,
Yep.
started off
Failed
really hot
miserably.
and then cooled off.
Yeah.
I just don't think. And Pierce is out for Indianapolis, so I'm gonna go with the Rams, and they're playing at home, so I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm going with the Colts.
You riding the wave, huh?
I'm riding the wave, man. I'm going with the Colts, man.
Okay.
Jacksonville, San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Yeah, they have a lot of players out, but they're playing at home. CMC is still there. No, you know, Kittle's on IR. He's out for another 3 weeks. Brock Purdy might come back, but I don't think so. He's a game time decision. And even if he does, just give the ball to CMC.
Yeah, I heard that Purdy's playing.
Yeah. Even
Oh.
if he does, just give the ball to CMC.
And then you have Baltimore, Kansas City,
Tough
another big
game.
matchup.
Tough game. I just trust Baltimore.
No, you know what? I take it back. You're right. I don't trust Baltimore, man. Forget them dudes.
No, I
Kansas
say I
City,
do
man.
trust Baltimore.
Nah, I don't trust them dudes. They're cursed too.
Yeah,
Not
they
as bad
are.
as Atlanta, but they cursed.
Yep.
Them
Monday
boys is
night
cursed.
games kind of suck.
We didn't do Chicago and Vegas.
Oh, I thought that was Monday night. Chicago.
Okay. I'm taking the Raiders at home.
Okay.
And then finally Green Bay and Dallas Sunday night.
Oh, Green Bay. All the way.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Green
Dallas
Bay might kill them by 21.
Dang, you think they're gonna win by 21?
By 21.
Dang, Dallas fans, where y'all at, man?
Dallas has
Where
no
y'all
defense
at?
at all. Zero.
But dang, you don't think
CD is
offense
I
gonna be
think
able to do
CD's still out.
nothing?
Isn't CD still out?
Yeah.
Yeah. They might kill them by 21. And they lost last week. Oh, they're gonna try to set the record straight. You know what? Let me give them respect. 17 points. 17 points, not 21.
I don't think maybe 14. Dallas fans, if you in this chat and y'all ain't saying nothing, y'all looking pretty bad right now, man.
I mean, what can they
Charles
do?
Davis says, I'm cooking bird today. Okay. We know what Charles Davis taking.
Well, we ain't worried about that. We ain't worried about that. I mean, I won't be surprised if y'all win, because you know, whatchamacall, our quarterback, I can't think of his name right now. I keep thinking of Pitts. But he got benched.
Penix?
Yeah, Penix got benched. Last game
Where's
for
Captain
Cousins.
Kirk?
Yeah.
Good. They should have never put him in.
Yeah, but he's back in today. We'll see how long he lasts. He's one pick away from being benched for the rest of the season. I guarantee you that. One pick away.
Can we quickly talk about what we need to do to get Atlanta squared away? Between the WNBA and NFL, you guys suck.
Yeah, WNBA, I had Atlanta Dream going all the way. That sucked.
I mean, what
they didn't make it out the first round. I don't know. Like, ever since our loss to Tom Brady and the mother freaking what team does he play for?
The Patriots.
Ever since that come behind loss, we just can't get right. Just can't get right.
If you guys stop concentrating on being the black capital of the world and strip clubs, maybe y'all might win.
Okay. Thanks for your advice.
Saying. The only thing y'all got good going on in the ATL is Outkast. That's it.
Okay, that was like 20 years ago. Okay.
That's true.
Devon McCoy says, watch your mouth.
Jermaine Dupri.
Okay, that's like 30 years ago.
Welcome to the Atlanta in the ATA every day.
Yeah, that was like 30 years ago.
It's 6 in the morning.
Y'all
what
better,
else I got?
And we got 2 minutes. I'm gonna let you go so we can watch the game. Y'all better worry about Tampa Bay.
We ain't worried about you. Said that last week about the Rams. We ain't worried about you.
Y'all were worried. Should I remind you of the halftime phone call you gave me?
Who won?
Should I remind you of the halftime phone call you gave me?
Who won?
Y'all won.
Who won?
Y'all won.
That's all that matters.
That's right.
That's all that matters.
And you know what? Let me say this before we get off, and I'm gonna give you your guy credit. We need to start giving a little more respect to Jalen Hurts. Just a little more.
I agree.
That boy is 17-0 in his last 17 games and 20-0 in his last 20 games that he's played. That is crazy. That's a crazy stat.
It don't look pretty.
That is a crazy stat.
The ball. Somebody said they want to see a game where they do the tush push from the goal line to the other side of the goal line.
Yeah, somebody gonna get hurt.
I think that's a little bit foul for them to say, but hey, as long as we win, that's all that matters.
That might be a good offensive move.
Like, share, subscribe, fly Eagles fly, go Birds.
All right, we'll see y'all when we see y'all. Maybe not Sunday night, unless you want to do a Sunday night game. I don't really want to. Rather just enjoy it.
That's cool.
All right, if not, see y'all next week. Appreciate y'all for coming out. Charles Davis, Dale Brown, Rob Roller, my boy from Russia, Bowser, and Devon McCoy, of course.
Oh, McCoy was in here?
Yeah, NPF.